this is the hospital for the poor people, but we also take care of the rich people.
That was the most painful thing I ever experienced.
On the outskirts of Bangalore, India's third largest city, a unique experiment in healthcare. A hospital with a difference, determined to make a difference. In 2012, Al Jazeera brought you the story of Narayana Hrudayalaya, an Indian hospital that aimed to give the best possible care to anybody who walked through its doors, whether they could afford to pay or not. This week, we return to Narayana after 2 years to revisit the doctors and patients we'd met and see what, if anything, has changed for them during this time.
Let me go for a ride and show you how it is. So this is how it works. This is the joystick, which with this you can go forward, and this is the reverse, and this is the left and the right. So this is a powered wheelchair I'm using currently, so which has made my life more easier and more fun to live for. The credit goes to the doctor. Everything has changed in 2 years. I have become a different man now. More positive, more energetic. You can see me. So it's good. Life is going on cool, pretty much. No problem whatsoever.
When we first met Prabhu 2 years ago, his life was full of problems. His body was gradually shutting down. A nerve disease was paralyzing him, and there was nothing he could do about it. His every movement had to be made with the help of family and friends. He was losing hope.
My brothers, my sisters, my brother-in-law, all my cousin sisters, my friends really helped me out a lot. To commute, sometimes it feels really bad. But that's how my life is. I can't blame anybody for this, neither my parents. My fate.
Fate was not kind. Prabhu's eyesight had begun to fail rapidly. He could no longer do his job at a local call center.
I found that there was some problem with my eyes as well. These days, I've reached a situation wherein I can't see anything at all in the computer.
Quickly going blind and out of options, Prabhu came to the Narayana Eye Hospital for help.
When I saw him, he had very advanced keratoconus. Keratoconus is a condition where your cornea becomes thinner and thinner, progressively thinner, and starts coming out like a balloon. His vision was very poor.
Dr. Himanshu recommended a cornea transplant, a procedure that Prabhu couldn't afford. So the doctor arranged to do it for free at Narayana.
He has spent a lot of money on his medical treatment. He has spent a lot of money on his family, and probably was the person who was a breadwinner in his family. And I was really touched by the whole thing, and yeah, I promised him that, okay, I'll do something for him. You're going to be very fine, don't worry.
Prabhu got a new cornea in his left eye. Being able to see again, even if it was with just one eye, turned things around for him.
The eye is doing really well. I can see very clearly vision. The vision is clear. The healing also is pretty much done. I think 90% it is done. So there is no problem. I can see pictures very clearly now.
It's not just his eyesight. Thanks to his doctor, Prabhu can now move around much more freely.
I just told doctor that I wanted to find a job. If there is a motorized wheelchair, it will be useful for me to go to the interviews and I can move around easily without anybody's help. So Dr. Himanshu, the entire credit goes to Dr. Himanshu. He's the one who spoke to a company called Mindtree. So with the help of Mindtree, they sponsored this motorized wheelchair, which I'm currently using. And after getting this wheelchair, I can definitely tell that my life has changed a lot, because I can move around anywhere and I can just go on. It has made my life quite easy. So this is the best buddy as of now for me.
But Prabhu wasn't out of the woods yet. He needed a job. Being 32 and unemployed weighed heavily on him and came up in every conversation he had.
I just don't want to be another piece of junk.
Yeah, you're not. No, I'm also on lookout for a job for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed, and I'm sure you will get a good job, because you have very good knowledge in your computers. You have like tremendous command over your language.
I feel like it is so very difficult in India to get a job.
I'm sure you're not going to be burden on anybody.
Yeah,
you're an asset to whichever place you join.
But people, what they think, they don't see my abilities. They see only my disability. Based on that, when they judge, I feel like because there are quite a few companies I've been for interview. Like that, everything I just passed with 100 marks on all the aspects of the interview. Finally, when HR comes and tells me like, I'll have to check on this HR policy. I don't know. But being a disabled, what is their policy they have to check?
Even without a job, Prabhu's life has been changing for the better. But that's not all. The hospital that has helped him turn things around is itself going through a transformation.
Major changes. First of all, as an institution, we have now become Narayana Health, not Narayana Hrudayalaya. The reason being, we are becoming international, and it is very difficult for a non-Indian to pronounce Hrudayalaya. So we thought we'll cut our name into NH, or Narayana Health, which is relatively easy for people to pronounce.
The name change is just one aspect of this hospital's exponential growth. Narayana now has major investors, big names like JP Morgan and Pinebridge, who may not necessarily share the hospital's original benevolent vision, and who may expect returns on their investment. But Dr. Shetty says he's not worried.
We are zeroing down on somebody who wants to play this game long haul, who's not interested in the short-term gain, and basically helps us to conquer the world. We want to build a different kind of a healthcare company, which doesn't exist today, and this is the model which rest of the healthcare companies across the world will follow.
Big investors have meant big growth. Narayana has now become a major player in the Indian healthcare market. In 2012, they had 11 hospitals across the country. Today, that has doubled to 22. But over 2 years, one thing has remained the same: the steady stream of patients in Dr. Shetty's office who turn to him when they believe no one else can help.
It is stressful, it is tiring, but you have to understand that those people have traveled by train from Bangladesh or Calcutta. They spent over 3.5 to 4 days to spend 10 minutes with me. And they spend another 4 days to reach their home. And the least I can do is to spend 10 minutes with them. It is not the question of a doctor giving advice to the patient. It is the trust which makes them travel all this distance and come.
No problem.
Trust, hard to earn, but very easy to lose. The last time we were here, we'd met this family who had entrusted the hospital and its doctors with the life of their 9-month-old son, Hatisham, whose liver had failed. 2 years later, they say that trust came at a very heavy price. Hatisham, their only child, is dead. The parents blame the hospital.
ये डॉक्टर लोग हैं ना, ये सिर्फ मेरे बच्चों को एक्सपेरिमेंटल के लिए रखा था और कुछ इसके लिए, और पैसा एक्सपेरिमेंटल, वो जो ये करेंगे तो कैसा होगा, ये करेगा तो कैसा होगा, क्योंकि इनको ये है ना मिल गया, क्योंकि नेक्स्ट दोबारा दूसरों को करने के लिए ये करने से कैसा होगा करके एक्सपेरिमेंट करने के लिए एक उसके ऊपर एक्सपेरिमेंट किया. लास्ट में बता दिया ऐसे ऐसे हो गया करके. अभी उसका है ना जाने का अभी 2 आवर्स है, उससे पहले भी उसको काटा, मेरे सामने ही काटा. पता है ना उन लोगों को अभी जान जा रही है, बच नहीं रहा है करके पता है. पता होने के बावजूद भी वो उसको उस टाइम पर टॉर्चर कर रहे हैं. उस टाइम पर कैसा किया, मतलब किया उसने, कुछ होश नहीं है उसको. नाक में ब्लीडिंग जा रहा है, मुँह में ब्लीडिंग जा रहा है, कुछ भी होश नहीं है, ऐसी ही पड़ी उसकी बॉडी. जब उन्होंने यहाँ पे 4 बजे सुबह में ऐसे ही यहाँ पे काटा तो गया वो बच्चा. मैं उसके पास ही थी दिन फुल रात, जो उसको किया मैंने देखा है सामने. 6 बजे हो गया उसका.
By the time he died, Hatisham had been in and out of hospital for a year and a half. We had first met him on Eid al-Fitr, the end of Ramadan, a day of celebration for Muslims, including his family. When his tiny body finally gave up, it was Eid al-Fitr again.
हम लोग और ना होप रख लिया था कि रमज़ान के बाद शायद इसको घर वापस लेकर आएंगे करके, ऐसे होप रख लिए थे. रमज़ान में ऐसे ईद के दिन ऐसा मैसेज दे दिया.
Hatisham was in trouble soon after he was born, badly jaundiced with a high fever. Doctor said he needed a liver transplant.
कुछ नहीं किया तो क्या हो जाएगा? हम कुछ नहीं किया तो उसका लाइफ को डेंजर है. 1 साल में ये बच्चा का लाइफ चल जाएगा. सो अभी हम ऑपरेशन किया तो 70-80% चांस अभी है उसको लॉन्ग टर्म में. शॉर्ट टर्म में हमारे रिजल्ट से 90% के ऊपर है उसका सक्सेस हो सकता है. ठीक है.
Hatisham's father, Akbar, donated his liver tissue. The transplant was done, but Hatisham remained sick.
जब आप रहे थे यहीं पे, मेरा बच्चा हॉस्पिटल में ही था ना, 1 महीना वहीं पे था. वो जो डॉक्टर बोले जो उसका जो पेट जो बढ़ रहा था और उसको फीवर बार आ रहा था, तो उन्होंने बताया कि उसको वो जो ड्रेन है ना ठीक से पास नहीं हो रहा है, उसको हम कुछ करना है ऑपरेशन करके करके बोला, तो उसके बाद उसको ऑपरेशन किया। वो ड्रेन जो वो ना ड्रेन लगाया उसको, वो बोला इसको थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, वो 1 महीना 2 महीने लग जाएगा वो।
6 months later, the drain wasn't working. Hatisham had to go through another 3 surgeries, all of which were unsuccessful.
6 मंथ वहाँ पे रख के उसको इतना टॉर्चर करके बहुत टॉर्चर दिया उसको। इतना टॉर्चर नहीं, इतना ऐसा इतना ऑपरेशन किया उसको। छोटा बच्चा है वो, कितना तकलीफ है वो। हाँ, कितना काट के हर महीना उसको इधर सेट काटा वो, और अगला महीना इधर सेट काटा। देखते हैं क्या हुआ है, देखते इधर क्या हुआ है। अभी वो करने से वो होएगा। अभी कुछ अंदर कुछ हमको ये मिला, अभी वो हमको बंद करना है, उसके लिए ऑपरेशन करना है। ऐसे कुछ बोल के ऐसे 5-6 टाइम ऑपरेशन कर दिया बच्चों को, यहाँ से इतना लास्ट टाइम। अभी वो जो मरने के लिए 2 दिन है बोल रहे, तो फिर यहाँ से पूरा काटा उसको।
When you've lost someone so close and so, vital to the family, when everybody was involved, I'm sure they're going to have a lot of remorse and a lot of anger, and it'll only time will heal that. So they might say whatever they want to, but I can categorically say that was not the case. What is the alternative? Do we just say it's too risky, I only want the good numbers, I only want the good figures, I don't want to do it, you please go away? Is that the answer? That will be cowardly on my part.
Hatisham was not the only loss for this family. Soon after the baby, Akbar's mother also died. The shock of losing her grandson was too much to bear.
वो ऐसे एकदम टेंशन हो गई, टेंशन हो गया, अनकॉन्शियस हो गई। वही लास्ट हॉस्पिटल में उसको 15 डेज रखा था, होश ही नहीं है उनको। ऐसे ही वो भी चले गई।
Akbar has lost his mother and his only son. After having given part of his liver to Hatisham, he is now unable to do much physical work, which means the family has slipped even further into poverty.
जब लीवर दिया था 3 महीने रेस्ट करने के लिए बोला था डॉक्टर। 3 महीने रेस्ट तो किया, लेकिन अभी भी ज़्यादा वेट नहीं उठाना बोल रहा है। ज़्यादा वेट नहीं उठाना, ज़्यादा देर बैठ गया तो दर्द होना, ऐसा 2-2 घंटे 3 घंटे बैठ नहीं सकते हैं। हम लोग काम करने वाले हैं, हमारा काम ही है ये मैकेनिकल, उठना बैठना ये करना वो करना। पहले से था डिफरेंट।
हम लोग ने कोशिश किया बचाने के लिए, तो वो तो बहुत टॉर्चर किया, वो उस दुनिया से बहुत वो टॉर्चर करके गया है यहाँ से। हम लोग उसको बहुत दिया है टॉर्चर। दुनिया में रहेगा तो इसको यही होएगा, क्यों रखना है इसको दुनिया में। समझता है ना वो सब कुछ।
It is very important for us to believe that we are not God. We are only instrument in His hand. If we have to do a job with the belief that 100% it has to go right, then we will start picking and choosing patients who we know that they will do well, and those who have a good opportunity to survive will be sidelined because we will be only conscious of the outcome. So our data and statistics are very, very good. We as an organization, we believe that if there is a possibility, strong possibility, that the child can survive and get back to normal life, we take the risk of course, after discussing with the family. And in the process, some children do suffer. But for the survival of the other 99% of the children, we have to do this. The safest surgeon is the one who doesn't operate. When you operate, there will be someone who will get hurt. But because somebody is going to hurt, you can't stop operating.
Seven 704-332.
Or costumes may help you.
Hi, this is Peter calling from HalloweenCostumeSale.com. How are you doing today?
Doing good.
Well, I'm calling to check.
Prabhu, meanwhile, has been lucky. It turns out that Dr. Himanshu was right. It was only a matter of time before he would find a job.
Well, the product number is F as in Frank, W as in Whiskey, 5482.
With a bit of help from the doctor, Prabhu is now working again for a call center, this time from home.
I'm working for a US-based company, so I love to use American accent as well as use American name. So my American name is Peter John. So when customer call in, I open my call like, thank you for calling HalloweenCostumeSale.com. This is Peter, how may I help you? That's how I take the call. So the customer shouldn't get any doubt that he's calling back, in India. He has to get an idea that he's calling somewhere locally in US.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Scott, for your help. I really appreciate it. You have a nice day going on.
We try to get into some organizations which help differently able people to get their jobs and learn vocational skills. We put him across to those people, and finally somehow his efforts and his luck got him a job where they said with your expertise in previous job and with your kind of profile, well, you don't need to come to the call center, you can take up the call at home. It was quite a heartwarming thing that it's not the rehabilitation of his eye or vision, it's a rehabilitation of his entire person.
Just because of the eye only, everything else is fallen into place now. I've got a good job working from home, and I can see the world more clearly.
With his newfound mobility and a steady income, Prabhu has started to live his dream. He and his friends have got their old band back together.
We have all the equipments which is required, drums, keyboard, violin, and we have pretty much of everything we need. So we'll have to gel together and start doing things now.
The band meets every week to practice. There's even an album in the works.
We already started, we have composed some 3 songs. So very soon there'll be something positive coming up. The minute I sit on my drums, I get possessed. No matter however low I am, I just get charged up.
Music, friends, laughter. In the big city of Bangalore, Prabhu's struggle might be coming to an end. Across the country, in West Bengal, in the tiny farming village of Naugram, Dilip Malik's struggle is about to begin. He and his family are preparing to make the 1,800-kilometer journey to Bangalore to try to save the life of their only son. 18-month-old Deep was born with a hole in his heart.
between the two pumping chambers of the heart, these are the two ventricles. So there is a defect or a gap in the septum between the two. And from here, normally from this right ventricle, the blood goes into the pulmonary artery or into the lungs. So in this condition, there is an obstruction to the outflow of blood from the ventricle. So these are the four components of this condition. So we have to do corrective surgery.
একটু আমি বসতেও পাই না, শুতেও পাই না, সব সময় নিয়ে নিয়ে ঘুরি।
Dilip and Asima's family is no stranger to heart problems. 5 years ago, they had taken their daughter Palomi on this very same journey to Narayana for 2 heart surgeries.
প্রথমবার আমরা অনেক কষ্ট সৃষ্ট করে সব পয়সা জোগাড় করে কলকাতায় জমা দিয়ে এখানে অপারেশন, তখন আমরা জানি না যে সাহায্য পাওয়া যায়। তখন আমার ওই মেয়েকে অপারেশন করিয়েছিলাম, তারপর দ্বিতীয়বার আবার চেক আপ করতে নিয়ে এসে 5 বছর বয়সে তখন বললো ওর আবার সার্জারি দরকার, ওর ভালভ একটা ব্লকেজ হয়ে গেছে, একটা নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে। তখন আমরা কি করব, আমরা ডাক্তারবাবুকে বলছি আমরা তো দেখাতে নিয়ে এসেছি, আমরা এত পয়সা নিয়ে আসিনি। তখন ডাক্তারবাবু দেবীশেঠি বলেছিলেন ঠিক আছে আমি আছি, তোমার মেয়েকে সার্জারি করিয়ে নিয়ে যাও। তখন আমরা দ্বিতীয়বার কিছু সাহায্য পেয়েছিলাম এখান থেকে। আমার মেয়ে এখন ঠাকুরের আশীর্বাদে আপনাদের সবার আশীর্বাদে ভালো আছে, কিন্তু আমার ছেলের সমস্যা এখন। আমরা গরিব মানুষ, কোথায় সার্জারির ডেট পাচ্ছি না। ওর বাপি বলছে রুমের এত ভাড়া, খাওয়া খরচা, আমরা বাড়ি থেকে চাল নিয়ে এসেছি, এবারেও নিয়ে এসেছি ডাল, এখানে দাম কত, মুড়ি সব আমরা গ্রাম থেকে ভেজে নিয়ে এসেছি, কী করে খাবো না হলে এখানে।
Dilip and Asima are now hoping that Dr. Shetty and the hospital will be as generous to them as they were the last time the family was here.
Hello. Well, I want to know if the product is in stock or it is discontinued.
Meanwhile, Prabhu's night job with the call center has been hard on his eyes, especially the right one, which still needs to be operated on.
I don't see any clear vision in the other eye. I can see something is there right in front of me, but then I'm not able to accurately see what it is. So it's kind of blur kind of thing. I can say it has got only some 10% of vision in my right eye. So I'm finding it a bit difficult to manage with one eye, because when I'm working on a system for 10 long hours a day, it actually tampers my left eye, which is operated.
Prabhu's right eye also needs a cornea transplant, but that'll have to wait. His left eye still has 3 stitches in it from the previous surgery. Today, he's off to Narayana again to meet Dr. Himanshu.
Well, I'm going it's for a regular checkup. I go every 2 months once. Doctor has told me that it depends on person to person. The stitches stays on for some time. So once that stitches are out, probably they would plan for another eye surgery. It's time for you to lift me.
He's fine. He's doing very well. His cornea is absolutely clear. Pressure is normal. Vision is quite good. So I'm happy.
To Prabhu, Dr. Himanshu is more than just his eye doctor. He's already helped him find a job and a wheelchair. This regular checkup often drifts to more personal conversations.
No more. I don't need to be dependent on anybody. I feel like going out,
True.
and feel like I'm walking back. I've got my legs back.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Everything happened because of you.
No, don't say like that. There are a lot of good people who have helped us in this thing. Probably next thing what we should be looking at is probably try to search for a job which is a day job where you don't have to stay awake whole night.
This night job, I feel very tired.
Yeah.
Actually, in fact, I logged out at 6 o'clock in the morning. I didn't sleep. Moreover, that is fully like
Yeah, I'm talking to a lot of people. The only thing is most of my friends are in the industry, and I don't want you to go into the heavy machinery and those kind of areas. Somewhere around. But with your knowledge of computers and all things, I'm sure you will get much better job in the daytime also.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Absolutely. I am okay with any kind of job, admin kind of job, technical, customer service, anything.
Okay, see you then, Prabhu.
It's already been 20 days since the Malik family arrived in Bangalore from their village. While Deep and his mother have been living and eating at the hospital, his sister Palomi and father Dilip are struggling to make ends meet. They're not allowed to stay at the hospital.
ওকে বাড়ি থেকে আবার ওই আলু চাল আটা ওখান থেকে এনেছে আমাদের অল্প জমি আছে ওইখান থেকে চাল এনেছিল প্রায় সেইগুলোই খাচ্ছে ওই মুড়ি টুড়ি আছে সব আলু তরকারি মুড়ি টুড়ি করি কখনো একটু রুটি ফুটি চলে যাচ্ছে আর কি এরকম খেতে হসপিটাল থেকে টোকন নিয়ে ওখানে সব খাওয়ায় ওখানে খেতে যাই
Finding shelter is also a challenge.
এখানে হয়েছে তখন আমরা এই দুটো ফ্যামিলিতে জয়েন্টে ছিলাম তো যা ঘর ভাড়া তখন হাফ হাফ লাগতো তখন ওই 400 টাকা করে 200 টাকা করে ওর 200 আমার 200 এভাবে চলে যায় তারপর ও চলে যাওয়ার পর আমি ওদিকে ঘর দেখতে গেলাম
So Dilip has gone to Dr. Shetty for help, where he was referred to the hospital's charity wing.
It is a very complicated surgery and it would have cost him something like 2 lakhs in the normal circumstances. But Dr. Shetty has given them a concession and which will be only around 1,25,000 that we have to make good to the hospital, out of which the patient is able to pay around 80,000 rupees. So the rest of the money is about 45,000, which we are trying to raise through Have a Heart and from other donors.
Narayana's charity wing remains focused on helping the poor and desperate. It hasn't grown as exponentially as the hospital itself. But here, Laxmi Mani single-handedly makes sure that Dr. Shetty's Robin Hood model remains a reality, where the rich subsidize the poor.
Everybody knows through the media and other things, I think, that Narayana Hrudayalaya and Dr. Devi Shetty is the only hope for them, for the poor. Nobody has been sent back for want of money till today. I can say that with confidence.
Every week, Laxmi takes a bus full of patients to one of her biggest donors, the Have a Heart Foundation, which is spread to almost every major Indian city. And by the sounds of it, they're well funded.
So our estimate in Calcutta is we'll be able to do about 260 lakhs worth of, or 2.5 crores worth of surgeries, which is approximately 600 surgeries a year, about 50 a month. And that has been going on for the last, I think about now 8-9 months. In Bombay, we have commitments of about 2 crore rupees per year already. Next, we're going to start Cochin. Jaipur, we have been doing for 3-4 years, but it's about 8-10 surgeries a month, small scale. Ludhiana, we have just done about 10-15 surgeries. Bangalore, 60-70 patients a month is going steady.
There are 5 members in the family. Patient is not working due to heart problem. Patient is married and got a child who's going to school. Individual donor, I have arranged 20 and I am requesting her to give 20. She doesn't have any money. Oh. Hello. कैसे हो?
brother I think. তোমার ভাই ভর্তি আছে? Her brother is admitted.
Since birth patient is having heart problem, since their elder daughter had heart problem and she underwent 2 surgeries in Narayana Hrudayalaya, this girl. Bangalore, they decided to bring this baby also to NH Bangalore for treatment. Here doctors referred for open heart surgery. Patient's father is working as a laborer, earning rupees 2,000 per month. Already they have spent for the patient's sister, and now it is very difficult for them to arrange any huge amount. They can arrange rupees 80,000 for the surgery. Patient's sisters are going to school. Ask her what she wants to become.
The foundation has decided to help Dilip pay for his son's surgery.
Teacher.
Promotion.
Now that the money has been arranged, Dilip's next big worry is food. 25 days have passed since the Maliks came to Bangalore. They have now run out of the food that they brought from home. Dilip and Palomi have no choice but to swallow their pride and rely on food handed out by the hospital to the families of very poor patients.
ट्रेन को मिस कर रहा है? घर जाना है?
Sometimes even a meal becomes elusive. The hospital's food coupons are only available for an hour every day, between noon and 1 p.m. Today, Palomi and Dilip have missed that window and must go hungry. On the other hand, things are looking up for Prabhu. He feels fortunate to have received so much help from the hospital and his doctor. So he's decided to pay it forward. Today, he's organized a family cricket match for the people of his neighborhood. And in the evenings, he can be found working on his music. But Prabhu and his family still feel there's something missing. They now want to find him a suitable bride. One would think somebody as lively and outgoing as Prabhu would be quite a catch. But in this country of more than 1 billion people, finding a wife for a man who's blind in one eye and confined to a wheelchair is no easy task.
I'm trying for somebody who can accompany me with whatever I am. So even I'm trying, my sister, everybody are trying hard to get somebody. Nobody bothers to even look at what deep inside you're going through. And you don't get girls at all for marriage.
Prabhu's family and friends are determined. They are exploring every possible avenue to get him married.
Elders, they are going for this kind of orphanage, and they are finding for girls who can really understand. A girl who was in a situation, and yeah, she will know better what life is, and they both will compromise each other. That is what I think. I hope they will get a good girl very soon.
Palomi has been to every temple around the hospital to pray for her baby brother.
সকালবেলা উঠেই পুজো করে, পুজো টুজো করে আবার ওখানে গিয়ে গণেশ পুজো করে, ঠাকুরতলা ওখানে গিয়ে ওখান থেকে ফুল নিয়ে তবে ওয়ার্ডে যায়, গিয়ে ভাইকে মাথায় পাতে ঠেকিয়ে চলে আসে, আবার সন্ধ্যাবেলা আসার সময় নমস্কার করে, এসে ঘরে পুজো দেয়, এখানে ধূপ ফুপ জ্বালে, ও নিচেতে গিয়ে ফুল তুলে নিয়ে আসে, এনে হয়তো ওখানে ঠাকুর সাজিয়েছে, ওখানে সব পুজো করেছে ওখানে নিচে।
It's been 30 days now, and Deep's heart surgery is yet to be scheduled.
রবিবার দিন এসে বলে গেছে যে আমি ওকে সার্জারি করবো। আমি বললাম ডাক্তারবাবু সার্জারি করলে ভালো হবে, বললো এই সপ্তাহের মধ্যে সার্জারি করবে বলেছিল, আজকে করবে জানি না।
Later in the day, it seems Palomi's prayers have been answered.
একটা পেশেন্ট ক্যান্সেল হয়ে গেছে অপারেশন, সেই জন্য ভাইকে
The surgery takes about 6 hours. Outside the operating room, every second is agonizing.
যখন অপারেশন হয়েছিল তখন আমার বাপিরা নিচে বসেছিল, আমি আমার ঠাকুর মন্দিরে গিয়ে বসেছিলাম, যখন আমি তারা ঠাকুরকে বলছিলাম ঠাকুর ভাইকে ভালো করে দাও, দিয়ে ঠাকুর আমার কথা শুনেছে।
Just days after his major surgery, 18-month-old Deep is a picture of health. His heart has been fixed. The family is looking forward to going home.
ওর মুখ, এই ঠোঁটগুলো না সব নীল হয়ে গেছিলো, বাচ্চাটারা এই নখগুলো সব নীল হয়ে গেছিলো। অপারেশনের পরের দিকে এগুলো সব একদম ফ্রেশ, মানে স্বাভাবিক আর সুস্থ লোকের যেরকম হয়। আগে ওকে খাওয়াতে গেলে কাঁদতো, এখন ও খাবার জন্য কাঁদছে। এবার ওকে আগে তো এরকম বদলে গিয়ে দুধ খাওয়ার কত চেষ্টা করছে, কিন্তু হাঁ করতো না, জোর করে জোরে খাতাম। এখন অপারেশন করার পর একদম নিজে বদল নিয়ে নিজেই খাচ্ছে।
A time for the Maliks to celebrate. They'll be going home soon. Across town, another kind of celebration. Prabhu's still blind in one eye and has yet to find a wife. But he's got his health, his music and his friends. All good reasons to party.
No matter how bad it is, but still I will keep my head up. That's how I've been and that's how I'll be always. So nothing can stop me. I'll be rocking always. Cheers.
It's been 5 difficult weeks for the Maliks in Bangalore. They've been homesick, run out of food, and their baby has had major heart surgery. But they are finally going home to their village with a healthy son.